tell my audio's on, hopefully, that you're hearing me. I'm now going live on Twitch and YouTube. Gotta think through that one. Oh, it's just that kind of Friday morning. You know what I mean? Like the brain does not want to work. I had a really bad headache last night and I slept bad again. But I'm just gonna be sleeping bad right now. It just is that season, is that time of year. So yeah, I'm working on my scene setup. So I'm learning more about OBS. So for any of you that are wanting to stream or trying to stream and you see all those fun things and they have like the little animals underneath and they have this and they have that, it's all really complicated. There's so much that you can do with this technology, and I think it's killing my computer, me learning it, which is a bad thing because I need this computer. I can't publish without this computer. Well, maybe I could. Other people have figured it out. I don't know. I'm not necessarily that smart. Hence why I'm still learning OBS. So on that note, and with all that funness, I'm going to get back to, so I'm trying to set up an opening scene. So you'll see me building it in Canva today during the current sprint, which is going, so there's only 20 minutes left of it. And then at the end of that, then I'm going to take a probably I'll less than 5 minute break because I need this stream to get done around 9 o'clock. And I was late getting on. I mean, you're just now seeing me, but if you look at the timer, you can see how long I've been working on this. So let's get back to it. I will see you guys at the end of this 20 minutes. Bye. So I guess I'm gonna get back on and talk a bit. I know we're not done with our sprint, and usually I'm muted. I like to have sound on, but I'm messing with things, so my sound is not what it normally is. Ugh, and my stream value right now is fluctuating from like deep red to like a orangish red and then back again. I like it better when it's green and yellow. Um, Preferably green. But man, it's just not liking me today. Poor thing. The fun thing with technology. I feel like an old grandma, like eh, 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 like with my mouse, trying to walk across the street. Uh, it's like, can this download take any slower? No? No? Okay. Uh, yeah, so I'm trying to get a new opening sequence. I've done a redesign on my brand. I'm trying to get something a bit more peppy to give life to I guess I could have gone with like the winter season and stuff, but I wanted something that's more on brand for me, and I love the beach. So we're gonna just make this a beach sprinting writing party. Yay! Uh, Remember the 90s? Oh no, no, no. Oh. See, the 90s barely had internet. If you don't know what that sound is, you aren't old enough to know what truly slow loading times is. I mean, I wouldn't have even tried to use something like Canva back then. I wouldn't have. It would have literally taken me hours just to load the website, let alone download what I'm trying to download now. Ah, if you say so, Angstas. If you say that those modems were awesome, I am all for you. Ah, the good old days where we used to uh, climb uphill in the snow of a computer. It's like, our grandparents were like, I used to go to school in the snow, uphill both ways. And our generation's going to be like, I used to wait 20 minutes for a single uh, download. Like, and it didn't even have the little squirrely thing. It was the dots. It looked like snow. Slow is when somebody else picks up the phone when you're almost done with the download. Yes! Yes! Oh. So I cannot confirm that I may or may not have had a program that had the ability to download things off the internet, nor can I claim or deny or whatever it is, legal terms, uh, that I would do this in the middle of the night when everyone else was asleep so that no one else was using the phone. Mm, those were the good old days. I am so glad they are past. There's so many other things. Like, I really don't think we would be where we're at with publishing and writing, or even the pandemic, if it wasn't for how much our technology has advanced. I mean, the fact that I can have on my lap a computer that has more computing power than what got people to the moon, uh, Shrunk Cows was a perfectly legal source of downloads. Confirm or deny. Yes. Um, I can neither confirm nor deny. Yeah, yeah. Um, I have no comment. I do not wish to be sued. I claim my right to the Fifth Amendment. Not that that even matters here. Um, anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. No, I don't think we'd be where we're at with like self-publishing and on-demand publishing if we didn't have the technology that we have today. And I mean, there is more editing power in Word than there used to be in one of the big five publishing houses. Now, I know that that's just line editing and blase, 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 but if you look at older books, like if you actually go to your library and you look at older books, the amount of errors that are in them are astronomically larger than what's in an average self-published today. I say average because I'm not talking like those people that post their nanos with really bad covers right after they're finished writing them because, like, I wrote a novel, let's publish now. No, 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 no. I'm talking about the people that actually care, that do things like put it through Word, then put it through Grammarly, then put it through Pro Writing Aid, and then once they get back from all of that, do their own audio check back on it. Once they like read through it themselves, then they send it off to, if not a content editor, because a story editor is really good for development when you're in your first couple of books. At least, at least sending it to a line editor, or take Michael Laron's new class about how to turn your PC into its own line editor. I'm looking forward to that one, by the way. All right, ML Ron, what I think his YouTube channel is Author Level Up. It's really great content. In the early '90s, Contow's Con, I'm never going to say that right. I see the cows in it, and I can't seem to get the two sound. Two cows, ton, ton cows. I don't know. Was hosted on university and public servers, much like Yahoo and Google were in their early stages. Their mission was to provide users with downloads of both freeware and trial versions of shareware. Internet Direct, owned and operated by Bill Campbell. Collins Campbell acquired um, Internet Direct acquired it in 1996. And Ventures acquired it in 1999. Hey, look, we're done with our sprint, and I'm still not done downloading. This has been downloading for 10 minutes. Um, two cows make up their logo. Okay, that makes sense. Two cows. Two cows. Like chickens, but with cows. So, yeah, I get it. Hey, and part of the reason why I'm doing this sprint, and I know we've gone into break, but I'm still breaking because I'm still waiting for this to download, is because I want you guys to see how long this actually takes. Like, I might go, oh, I'm just gonna, block out a 30-minute sprint and get all of the design stuff that I want to do for my new stream up and running. And that's not realistic. My brain wants to do that. I'm like, I can physically type at that speed, I can find pictures, I can build things at that speed, but the download costs, depending on your server, I mean, it's been stuck at this little bitty space for I don't know how many minutes. Like it just doesn't want to finish this download. It's like, no, I don't want to do the last few seconds. The ultimate collection of Woodstock software. Two cows. Um, cool. Yeah, I was not talking about that. I did not download software when I was younger. I didn't download anything. No, I'm not. It. There were things. There were things. Anyways, yeah, but so take for instance, let's say you wanted to redo your streaming platform because you determined that there's these things called scenes and you can actually flip between scenes. And crazy enough, like instead of flipping between the visibility and unvisibility on your single seam, you want to actually not build out a single seam until it's like overflowing with all of these things that you cannot like see. But you actually want to build different scenes so that they match whatever project or thing that you are recording for. Did I not mention the old walking down the street? Angsas, if I'm old, I don't know if you are or not. Today, I feel like a grandma. I am not a grandma. My child is not that old yet, but I can feel like one because I didn't understand the difference between scenes and sources. Because really, I still don't get it. I really don't get it. But like right now, you guys are seeing me with my streaming download waiting for it to download. Okay, so walkers don't make people old, and I apologize. I am not trying to shame anyone who utilizes any type of technology to make their life better. I am just playing into a stereotype for the comedic value. Uh, Using a walker does not make you old. My apologies. Actually, I was quoting a movie. Ah, this okay. So this is probably so. Anxos reads: scenes are your scrapbook pages. Sources are your individual stickers. That makes total sense. So imagine if, just for a minute, I built an entire photo album on a single page with the idea of removing and resticking stickers. That is how I set up OBS to begin with. And so now I am actually trying to create pages that are designed at. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard I'm shaking the computer. Oh, okay. Yes, 100%. I can fully get behind that. So Oxaz uh, puts up on the Twitch side of things, using a walker doesn't make me old. Remembering when in 2000, 2400 broad modems were awesome. Makes me old. Yes. Yes, it does. It's okay. We all get older. I can remember when 20 seemed like so far away, and now 20 does seem very far away, but in the opposite. And you'll notice we have gone through our whole 5-minute break, and that little tiny bit of downloadings still has not downloaded. So, if you were expecting to do a short video timer countdown on Canva, create it, and put it in your OBS within 30 minutes, I am sorry to tell you that is not going to happen. This is a 2-hour project. It is not a 2-hour project because it necessarily takes 2 hours. You can probably get this project done in about 15 minutes of actuality time. But the download and ability for your computer to be on internet, have access to internet, and be downloading is close to an hour to an hour and a half, depending on your rendering software, your computer, and your download upload speeds on whatever internet connection you are connected to, whether that is wireless, wired, or dialed in by a phone number. uh, but that's where this takes up the biggest, largest chunk of time. And because it's still downloading, I could technically probably be writing right now, but I really don't want any more strain on my computer. So I'm going to do this cute little thing where I get out my phone. And so here's a great example. We've started our, oh, no, I can't get this to work right. There we go. There we go. Boom. Um, yeah, streaming is using a lot of my bandwidth, so that could be a big part of it. But again, that's a big part of it. All right. I'm going to pretend. Okay, I'm just going to rant a little bit here, and I'm going to make it very, very general. If you are part of a group and they ask you to please post your next post or to post your topic in a specific area, and you go, oops, I'm sorry, and you repost it to the wrong area again, please, please figure out whatever language you are posting in well enough to know to post in the right area that you were told on now 2 occasions. It is a super big pet peeve of mine when people are instructed to do something for the sake of the group and they don't comply, whether on purpose or accidental, on more than one occasion. I am talking in general about multiple groups, but that does lead me, and I'm not going to say that out loud. If people want to read that in the comments in the screen, they for something they can. But What I am going to say out loud is if you belong to a group online and they have rules, please follow them. And if you are part of a group, it is a group for a reason. It usually means that you do not need just one person's perspective on something. You are there to get multiple perspectives from multiple people. And if you're waiting around for just one person, that's problematic. Because that person might not be an expert in that thing. That person might have helped set up the group so that a general amount of expertise was available. For instance, when I stream like this, I like to get chat going and I like your guys' opinions and I like you to physically be here because when you're physically be here and I share things and I talk about things and I do things, then I can get your feedback and I can get your expertise and I can get your understanding of what's going on and figure out if I want to adjust or not in that direction. Because maybe I don't want to adjust. Maybe I do want to adjust. Um, so Angstos writes, listen to me about cover design. Because it's not like I haven't been in this industry since the early 2000s. It's not like I have a degree in the management and dissemination of these materials. It's not like I haven't gone into the creation of these materials or have a degree that allows me to be able to knock on doors and go into the industry and do this work before it was even self-publishing. It's not like I haven't spent a huge amount of time understanding all of the genres that matter to me and some of the genres that I don't. Looking at what that means, looking at what keywords, cover design, all the basic writing stuff for I want to know what's on genre for what I write. I want to know what genres are around or close to what I write so that I can be more on genre when I'm writing. Because people like genre things. They don't mind surprise, they don't mind intrigue, but if it looks like a steampunk, we want there to be steampunk elements and we want there to be a steampunk trope. If it looks like a romance, we want our HEA. Maybe a happy for now, maybe an HFN, but I'm going to tell you right now, urban fantasy can have a HFN, my romance is better not. In fact, I stopped reading a Christian author because she got stuck in her own trope. And to make that trope happen, she started destroying her own HEAs. And I'm sorry, I can only cry so much. And if you kill off one of my characters so that you can have another romance book, I'm not reading you anymore. Okay, there, I ranted. I'm sorry. If you're just enjoying your sprint while I'm waiting for this thing to download, and I'm also showing you guys this. I will be quitting this stream and going off. I am showing you how long it takes to download from Canva one of these videos because I've made a couple of them and it has always taken this long. In fact, one of them, if you're using the Canva app, because I needed to get something on my cell phone, I literally had to watch the video on Canva app and record my screen on my phone in order to be able to get that video actually off because it would get to this point and of the download where it has that little bit of nothing left and you're like, oh, it's just gonna happen. Why isn't it happening? It's been over for 14 15 minutes now. I mean, we're into our second sprint and it went into that stage before we hit uh, our last break. Oh, you can't actually have an HEA without immortality. I am sorry, ma'am, but that is the point of romance. They are a immortalized couple, and as long as nothing else is written about them, it will stay that way. This is not real life we're talking about. We're talking about romance. Because that Christmas miracle that happened whenever that movie was made has continued on for the rest of their days until they died and went to heaven together. No, I'm just kidding. That is no. But yes, that is the point of romance. A little creepy, but okay. Hey, that's what fiction's about. Fiction is about immortalizing a specific time in a character's existence. And we read that for whatever that is. And sometimes that adventure, that hero's journey is a journey through emotions, or it's a journey through love, or it's a journey through a physical space around them, or all of the above. But we read to know a slice of someone else's existence, world, and life. That is what reading is for. It's to get outside of ourselves, to get outside of our little worlds and our places, and find out something about someone else. And story moves forward and has interest when those elements are interesting. Whether that's internal tension, internal action, external action, doesn't really matter. It depends all on the story. But the story actually has to move for it to be interesting. Nobody wants to read your 16-year-old diary unless you are Anne Frank and we're stuck in an attic hoping not to die and then ending up dying anyways. Oh, so Angstas writes, I got a prompt for a character to get an HEA. I had to write about a celestial. Are the celestials the only ones that fall in love? Like your characters fall in love all the time. Like I, I would expect more like an HEA to be like an elf or something. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, Angstas, roll it back. I'll just trash my nano project now? Why? That's a perfect example of exactly what I'm talking about. It is literally a slice of life that has internal and external conflict. Oh, Celestials don't fall in love. Everybody else dies, though. Yeah, again, so it an HEA stays an HEA and not an HFM if one, the couple is together at the end of whatever you're writing, and two, you never write about them again. Or if you do write about them, they're still in love. Yeah, see, but I think that's your problem. So Angstas writes, like I said, nobody cares if it doesn't move, right? I think that's your problem, is that you don't think what is happening is moving a story along. But the fact is, everyone who watches your stream has told you over and over again, and I'm telling you in this moment, look me in the screen. Your story moves. It moves internally and it moves externally. Okay, sorry. Okay, I am very, very sorry about that. I thought it had to do with something very important, but apparently it wasn't. So I'm really close to closing out here. Agsas, honest to goodness, your stories move. They move emotions. They move people physically through the spaces of their lives. They are a slice of life fiction. And you're not a modernist, so you're not telling me that life is meaningless in your world. You're actually telling me very, very much that life has meaning in your world, regardless of the fact that their gods abandoned them. And it's interesting. It's extremely interesting. It's extremely dynamic. I well, yeah, that okay. So Angstas, you bring up a very valid point. You you I have said I am wondering when Alenka is going to grow her backbone. And I say that because this book, that is the tension that is holding this book together. One of the big tensions is we know because we have read your later works that you wrote earlier. So, in essence, what you're writing now is a prequel to other things that you have written in the past that I personally have listened to and read. So I know Alenka. Alenka is the woman that walks into an all male school and body shames. She's the woman that fights with her instructors in a RICO setting. She is a woman that has absolutely no guilt for being in a household of very interesting people. Diversion House. This is a woman who has such a strong backbone that you would think that it was made from steel. Like you could you can build a skyscraper on this woman's back. It is such a strong backbone. And the character that you are developing, the child that is developing into that woman, and the story that we are reading, yes, this is very interesting to people, doesn't have that yet. Go right ahead. Go right ahead and tell people that I said that. Because they are. They're very interesting people. That's why we like listening and hearing and reading your work, is because these are interesting people and they live in interesting times and they have interesting lives. And that makes great fiction. It makes great nonfiction, but I don't want to be those people living those lives if it's nonfiction. Um, but yeah, that's what makes story. That's why we want more. And you're saying, oh, I'm just gonna throw out this beautiful, wonderful tale about a young girl growing and developing into the woman that she's going to be because that's not interesting. And I'm going to turn that around on you and say that is exactly what every YA book is about. Every single one of them. Now, might not be a woman, right? Might not be a man. Might I'm not. This is not a gender specific thing, so please don't take those terms that way. This is a people specific thing, and phooey. I mean, we can. It's personification, so you can put it into clouds or dogs or whatever you want. It's just that that's how we connect. That's how a person connects with writing. That's how writing connects to a person, is this idea of the ability to develop and change and grow. Um, so I will like so Angstas writes the Sanguine Horse should probably not show up on YA shelves with a winky face. Um, I will reiterate, I've done some things for her channel. She is an adult only channel, and she stands by that very significantly. I will have to say that there are YA books that I have read recently that had content warnings, and I was still not prepared for the graphic nature of the contents. In fact, I thought they were significantly more graphic and horrifying than anything I've ever seen at the Sanguine Horse or read at the Sanguine Horse. And that's adult only labeled content. And this was a definite YA book. Like the main character is in high school and it's written to high schoolers. And I'm not saying this book should not exist. That is not what I am saying at all. What I am saying is that people that are not aware of the level of content that you're putting out can say something. And so that's why we're going to have a panel. We're going to have a panel about content warnings. So I am going to take the comment of Sanguine Horse should probably not show up in YA shelves and shelve that for when we have our content warnings panel, which hopefully we will be working on getting a date out. I'm hoping that it happens this month as part of a new series that I am running. I'm hoping that it will be this month's panel for that series. It's the What Now series or What Next series. I'm still working out the name. In relationship to, hey, you wrote a book, you've got a manuscript, maybe you even edited it. What do you do next? Traditional publishing, non-traditional publishing, these are all the elements that you need to have in a manuscript before you even think about publishing it. And one of the first ones of those, since I have most of the panel members, if not all the panel members together for it, is going to be content warnings. And it's going to be epic. So I'm just telling you, if you're watching this on replay, this is going to be epic. You want to be there live. You want to be able to ask these writers questions because whew, it's going to be something. So Angstas writes, I think it's more the underlining assumptions that would be problematic in the YA market. Again, I'm shelving it. But she says, yes, my stream is marked mature because they don't have, then I don't have to second guess myself. 100% right there with you. And so that's why I brought it up that she's a mature stream. If you are under the age of 18 or restraining from engaging in sexual content or sexual activity, I would put a big, huge warning sign on her stream for you because it might trigger something that you didn't know was in you and didn't know that you did or didn't want uh, to be exposed to at this point in your life. Yes, and I totally agree with Angstas as we go into the end of this last sprint, and I'm going to clear off here in a second because I really do want this to finish loading, and streaming might be causing it to not finish up. And my computer is deciding it just hates me right now. But yeah, second guessing hampers creation. So you need to do what is right for you in relationship to what you're creating. And you also need to do what's right for you and what you watch. So Ancestor writes, sexual activity is in the usual sense is not something I generally include. I agree, 100%. Yep, Angstas does not include sexual activity in the usual sense in her general stuff, but she still rates her stuff as mature audience. Um, a YA book that I recently read had graphic sexual scenes in it, and the content warning did not atone for that in any way, shape, or form. But again, warning, content creation in progress. Maybe messy. Yeah, like the fact that the thing that I made over 40 minutes ago is still loading, downloading, and I can't put it up until it downloads. So that's why I'm going to say adios. I have done my hour. I have put in my chain work. I probably will not be streaming tomorrow and Sunday. I might choose to do like every day and not just weekdays, but I think that I'm just going to be a Monday through Friday person. 1 hour somewhere in there. If you want to continue this conversation with Angstas, her channel is mature. I recognize that. But you can find her on Twitch. Angstas, if you have the ability to throw your handle down there, that would be awesome. Otherwise, do you know anyone? Let's look to see who I might be able to raid into and give them some kudos. Not that I have enough people on here to be worth rating anyone. Well, you know what? I'm on here. I'm worth rating. All right. Um, let's see. White Tiger is out for a lunch break, and Khan the Elder is the only one else on here. Um, everyone else is offline that I follow. Well, that is a pity. All right. Yep. So there is Angstas handle. So twitch.tv/Angstas. And I'm probably saying it wrong. Angsthas. I'm like very Germanizing it. Um, it wasn't until she told me like what it means. It's a compound German word, which I totally should have gotten, but I didn't until I got told. So I'm telling you, it's Angst and Hass. Hass is hair in German. Angst, I'm pretty sure you can figure that out if you like adjust. Yeah, the Tiger's Rights will be back eventually, so I'm just gonna send you guys over there and have fun. He likes to do what I like to do, which is write and walk. So, yeah, enjoy the show. All right.